What is up, Pete Sweeney here. We are your Emerald Coast relocation experts, and today we're going to be covering the pros and cons of Navarre. Let's go. Before we go ahead and break into these pros and cons, I mean, come on guys, let's go ahead and check out this beach right now in the ocean. I think that pro definitely outweighs any cons that I might be able to come up with today. But why don't we go and dive in to pro number one, and that is the quiet beach living. I'm gonna say right now that this might not last too long because Navarre is gaining so much popularity. A lot of it are kind of compared to the next Destin. Will that happen? I don't know, only time will tell. But it is gonna get crazy busy here. There is a ton of development happening. Currently, it's quiet beach living where you can live here and have that great beach lifestyle that you might be looking for without all the hecticness. Yes, there is tourism here, but it is not as bad as say Pensacola or Destin currently. I don't know what to say in the next couple years, but let's just kind of keep an eye on things, see how this all develops. The second pro that we're going to be talking about is the unlimited possibilities that you can have here in Navarre and Navarre Beach. What were we talking about with that? So we're talking about business opportunities. So if you're looking to open up a great restaurant, if you're looking to open up a scuba shop, maybe a surf shop, all those different things. There are not too many establishments here currently in Navarre. So if you are planning on moving here, being that small business owner, then you have a ton of opportunities in order to get into. Also on top of that as well too is short-term rentals. This is how my family decided to kind of move around the country. Is we have short-term rentals in all kinds of different places, whether it be beach living, lake living, doesn't matter. Short-term rentals are a huge thing right now, and currently the regulations are super limited in regards to Navarre Beach and Navarre. So if you are planning on moving here, becoming an entrepreneur, maybe expanding your business that you currently have in a state, there are tons of opportunities. I highly recommend checking it out. See what might be that good niche for you. The third pro that we're going to be diving into is the cost of living in Navarre. And what we're going to be doing is comparing this to Destin, because obviously Navarre keeps getting compared to the next Destin. So what are we looking at? How we like to go about our cost of living is we do the cost of living index, where 100 is your national average. Anything above that obviously is more expensive, and below it is cheaper. So where are we looking at when we're talking about Navarre? Overall, Navarre is a 106, where if you compare it to Destin, that is a 120. So it is still about 15% cheaper than Destin. A great time to possibly get into before the prices start to hike up, which I do see happening. Next cost that we're going to cover two big ones, and first one's being your groceries. What are we looking at if you're spending groceries? It is a little bit more expensive than your national average. You're looking at a 101.3, as compared to Destin, you're looking at a little bit over 105. So groceries are a little bit cheaper here, typically about your national average, right? So if you're coming somewhere where groceries are a little bit more expensive than national average, you'll probably be about baseline, you know, a little bit stagnant. You won't have to worry too much about those groceries being much more expensive. The second cost that you're probably really concerned about is housing, and this is the big daddy of them all right here. So housing with the cost of living index is a 113, as compared to Destin, which is a 168. Housing is still so much cheaper. Obviously, if you're planning on moving on Navarre Beach, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive for that, but I still guarantee you're gonna get a better price in regards to housing as compared to Destin. What are we looking at when we talk about that median sales price here in Navarre? You're looking at a median sales price of 401. Now, just quick heads up, that's probably gonna go up a little bit if you decide to be on the beach in Navarre Beach. Let's go and compare that to Destin. Destin, you're looking at a median sales price of 590, guys. That's almost a $200,000 difference. Yes, Destin is crazy popular. They're saying Navarre might be the next best thing. So they said Navarre is next in regards to how popular it's going to be. So is this possibly a great time for you to move into Navarre? I'll leave that up to you, but the numbers only talk for themselves. The fourth and final pro that we're going to be discussing is the schools here in Navarre. In Navarre, they're in Santa Rosa County. Actually, I believe it's South Santa Rosa County. Like I said, I'm still kind of trying to get up on all my counties here, but you're looking at a B+ overall. Two very important factors that we look at as a family is your academics, which is an A-. Also your college prep, which is also an A-. So two huge categories that are up in the A's. They have great schools here in Santa Rosa, more specifically Navarre. Before continuing on, guys, I just want to give you a quick heads up on why we started this channel. It's because we relocated into this beautiful state of Florida from Colorado, and we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know anything about any of the areas. So we decided once we moved here to put together a top-notch team, experts who could help you out with all those questions, get you in the right spot that you needed to be. So if you are loving this content, can you do us a huge favor? Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, that way you're notified every single time we put out a brand new video. Also, if you are planning on purchasing real estate here in the Emerald Coast, why don't you give us a call on the phone number right below. Give us a call, give us a text, doesn't matter date or time. Let's go ahead and go on to the cons right now. The first con that we're going to talk about, and this might not be too big of a con depending on currently where you're at from an airport, but the distance to the airport. If you're looking at going to Pensacola, international, which gives you the most choices to travel abroad. Then you have a little bit of a distance to go. How far is that? You're looking at typically a little bit under an hour, depending on traffic, obviously. But us personally, we love to travel quite a bit, whether it be going out of country or visiting family in a different state. We like being pretty close to an airport, and you're looking at about an hour drive if you are looking to travel quite a bit, taking that trip over to the airport. The second con that we're going to be talking about is your walkability here at Navarre. There really isn't much of it. There's not much sidewalks when you are driving through all of these developments, and so it might be a pain in the butt if you're trying to get to a store. The walkability, riding a bike, it doesn't matter. You are going to need that car when you are going in and around Navarre, and so there's not much walkability. Will it change? I really don't know. I know personally, me coming from Colorado, they love walkability there. So we have light rail stations, we have a ton of bike trails and all that. They do have on 98 like a bike lane that goes through it, but it just still doesn't have that walkability, the sidewalks that you're really looking for if you are looking to walk within the Navarre. The third con that we're going to be talking about is the fact that Navarre is not Destin. And this might be a pro or a con depending on what you're looking for. It's just really not there. I know that when we first kind of came into the Emerald Coast, we came into Navarre kind of expecting something similar to Destin, you know, that hot spot to go with a ton of resorts. They do have a few buildings here on Navarre Beach, but it's just not what Destin is. So if you are looking for that huge party beach life, Destin might be a little bit more for you than Navarre. Navarre, it has the potential to get there. Whether it does, I don't know, but it just might not be what you're looking for if you are planning on being somewhere like Destin. The fourth and final con that we're going to be talking about is the fact that we are not right next to an Air Force base. So you've got all the noises that go with that. You got the planes flying over. When I was deployed in Iraq, I lived on an Air Force base right next to the flight line. I got sick of the planes constantly going up and down, but I will tell you, after being there for a year, that eventually you get used to it. You know, it's more annoying when you kind of have those conversations and then you hear the jets firing up or you hear the jets soaring over and you have to stop for a second and be like, all right, are they done? All right, let's continue. So just something to kind of be aware about. With that base being so close, you do have training exercises you might have to be hearing in the distance as well too. You are going to be close to that Air Force base, but on top of that, guys, I want to give a shout out to all of our military out there. They are great at what they do at serving their country. We appreciate you following us along, guys. I mean, like I said, we created this channel for you because of all the pain points that we personally experienced. We put together the best expert team that we could find when relocating other people here into the free state of Florida. So if you are planning on moving into the Emerald Coast, why don't you give us a call or text on the phone number right below. Give us an email. It doesn't matter day or time, we are there. And until next time, we love you.